Up, you guys? I just wanted to talk to y'all, and y'all can see by the title that you guys, I'm like starting to feel a little crazy. I know I'm not crazy though. I know I'm just a product of my circumstances, and that's why I'm on this spiritual healing journey so that I can become better. I didn't even know I was suffering from so many things until I got away. Like, I didn't even understand. I was running. I told y'all in that video, my video, before y'all see this video, I'm probably going to post like a couple other ones. But I have already posted the holiday video. I said our first time homeless on a holiday. During that video, I started like really, most of the video was me talking. That's why I was so long. And then in that one about my wilderness season. So in a bunch of my videos, like I kind of touch on certain things sometimes. And but in that video of during the holidays, I was like, I'm a runner, I'm a track star, because I run from things. I run from the feelings of being let down. I don't want to feel let down. I don't want to, no one wants to be rejected. But I tend to avoid things. I avoid people, avoid situations, so that I don't even have to put myself in a position to be let down. So this is why I'm like such a loner. So, through me coming on this journey, God has revealed to me that I have borderline personality disorder. That now I'm learning about this thing about schizoid. Like, I didn't even know about any of these things in my email. I get these emails from a website called Quora. I don't even know how that stuff started coming to my email, but it's like a forum and it talks about like different mental health illnesses and stuff, and people be asking all types of questions, like, but it more so be people on there asking questions about like relationships, with dealing with people with like disorders though. So this one day, it popped up. Like, one thing about I've learned on this journey is like when you ask, you will receive. And I've been asking God so many questions. Like, it all started with me like, why do I cut people off? It's like if I could have a job, it would be cutting people off, because that's what I do for a living. Like, I will cut you off and then feel no way about it. I'm like in my mind, everything is temporary, everything is disposable, nothing lasts forever. So I just feel like, what is the point of attaching myself to things when it's gonna get taken away anyway? It's gonna leave. It's only here just for a season. So through me going through my emails and looking at seeing this one question one day, like, first the thing came up about borderline. So when I clicked on it, I'm like, just, because it started off with talking about narcissism. And I just realized this year that my mom is a narcissist. Like, me getting away, moving to Texas, God told me to move to Texas, as y'all already know and have seen that video. If y'all have seen that video months ago when I first got here this year. But when I first got here, like, it's just been a journey. This is why God had to get me away from everybody, so that I can truly get to know myself, find my identity, get to know who I am, learn to love myself, learn boundaries. Because when you love yourself, you're going to place certain boundaries. You're going to learn to place boundaries. And this video might end up getting long. They be getting long because my mind, I have like my brain is like a major file cabinet, and it has so many different things, and I get information overload, and I be trying to like touch on each thing, and then it all starts to like come together crashing. So this is why I always tell y'all in my videos, like, I be all over the place, because my mind, it just go here and there and there and there, and then it comes back, and I can catch the thought and it come back to what I was really talking about. So just bear with me. Like, I really appreciate y'all that just be really rocking with me and listening to me, because y'all are my therapy. For so long, I didn't know I even had any issues. I'm like, what made me realize something was wrong was when I'm like, I can cut people off like it's nothing, like, and feel nothing about it. Like, it's like, you cool? I was like, all right, it was a good time, but it ain't a long time. That's why I always say I'm here for a good time, not a long time, because I know that, everybody is not meant to last forever. Everything is not meant to last forever. And I know that if people are not serving a purpose in my life, I truly believe that everything and everyone serves a purpose. We all have a purpose here. Every last one of us, every last thing in your home serves a purpose, or it would not even be in your house. Like, you wouldn't even have your phone if it didn't serve you a purpose. Everybody has their own needs. And I feel like if you're not serving that need for me, you're not serving that purpose that I need you for in my life. Not what you want to be in my life for, what I want you in my life for, what I need you here for. If you can't do that, I don't want you here. It's like, what are you doing here? You're just taking up space. And I don't like people that's just taking up space. I got OCD to a certain extent. I'm not a hoarder. I don't like people just here, just around, just laying around for nothing. Like, I don't want you here. You got to go. Everything serves a purpose. This chair I'm sitting in is to serve a purpose. This wall serves a purpose. The light switch, it serves a purpose. So you must serve a purpose. And if you're not doing that, you must go. You know, so me just questioning these things and building this relationship with God and just asking so many questions. One thing about me is I'm such a curious person. Like, I'm so curious. So I'll ask a bunch of questions. Like, I'm literally, I just love to learn. The way my brain operates is it's like, it just loves to think and learn. I'm such a critical thinker. I'm so analytical. It's like a literal computer machine, like a literal processor, it just, the way my brain operates, like, this is why I'm so observant. I spend more time observing things than actually just like enjoying the time spending, or like, that's why I say I don't really go to clubs and stuff. Like, that stuff don't excite me, because I'm sitting around, looking around, observing, taking in everything that I'm experiencing, taking in, seeing other people's behaviors. I'm like a natural analyzer. Like, my brain, it irritates me sometimes, but I also love my brain. But this is why I be having information overload, because it's like, and I've always been like this. Like, I would even, my mom said that I used to do that. I would sit around, my grandmother used to tell her you need to watch what you're doing around her, because she's watching. Like, I just was naturally observant. I pay attention to everything. And like, kids do anyway, they're watching. You think they're not, you think they might be playing with their toys over there, but no, they're listening. They're listening. You know, so I just always have been very observant, and I still am. And this is why I'm even in this lane. And I kept saying I want to go back to school for psychology, because I'm really into figuring out the why. Like I said, I'm curious. I'm so curious, and I want to always know the why of something. Like, that's what led me to God, because I was just questioning things. Even with outside, when I get out in nature, I'm like, how did this get here? Like, how did they build this? How did this, like, how? It's always how and why for me, like, always how and why. So, and when I'm around people and other people's behaviors, and then even my own behaviors, I'm like, why is this person like this? So I start to like dig deep. You know, I'm a Virgo. I'm very analytical, and I'm down to earth, and I like to go deep. I don't like surface level stuff. I cannot stand surface level conversations. I don't really like small talk. But I also don't like people trying to talk to me too much. Like, I like to keep it real simple. Hi and bye. How's your day? Have a good day. Like, just, I like to speak to people. I feel like it's rude to go around people and not speak. Like, I'm very well mannered with that. I don't like lack of manners. But I'm not trying to get to know you. I'm not trying to get close to you. It's so hard for me to build relationships. And this is why when I read this schizoid thing, because that popped up on Core. So when I read that, I'm like, wow, this is me. I'm very antisocial. I can go to a party and I'll sit right there to myself, like, or only kick it with who I know. And, you know, I'm very weird. That's why I used to think everybody else weird, but it's like, no, girl, you're weird. If I don't know you, I'm not close to you, I'm not going to be like that. Oh, but I'm cool, I'm friendly. I am a friendly person. I'll speak and I'll laugh and chime in, but I'm not going to say too much, because the things that I like to talk about, most people don't like to talk about. This is why I have the, you know, even with my own family, like with my mom, you know, when we was cool, it's like, you know, and with certain, you know, just certain people, what I like to talk about, other people don't like to talk about. What excite me don't excite other people. They like to talk about BS, other people business, gossip, celebrities, and all of that. I like to talk about this type of stuff that I talk to you guys about on my YouTube channel. So this is why I'm happy that God shifted my whole YouTube journey to have me, you know, he moved me, and through me moving. First, before I came to Texas, I was doing like what I eat in a day videos because I was really focused on trying to lose this weight that I had gained when I was pregnant. So I started just posting like what I was eating to lose weight. But then God shifted everything. That incident with my BD happened, and it was all for my greater good, you know, because something sometimes have to push you. Sometimes we're so afraid to leave what we know, so afraid to leave the people that we're comfortable with, that oftentimes we'll stay and stuck in situations that we know we really shouldn't be in, you know. And for me, I have a people pleasing tendency. Not that I care to be liked by everybody, but the ones that I am close with, the ones that I care about, I do want to, you know, I'll put my needs last so that you can feel fulfilled, like, you know. But me reading this, so I'm gonna read it because I'm talking a lot, and y'all know I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. This is part of these disorders I have. But I just can't believe, I'm like, dang, so every time I turn around, it seems like I got another disorder. I'm like, you know, as I've been on this journey and started to like see these things, all of a sudden Dr. Fox popped up, Dr. Romney. So I follow a couple psychologists on YouTube, and when it's like God put them in my path. Like, what's the odds? I was like, what's the odds this man pops up, Dr. Fox popped up talking about borderline after I came across borderline on the little email that day. And what he was saying about the impulsiveness, about the behaviors, about going 0 to 100, about like all of the traits of a person with BPD, that is me, except I don't self-harm in a way of like cutting myself and stuff like that. I have like high functioning disorders. I can function still with these issues that I have. But when I was coming across, like, now I found Dr. Kim, and she talks about CPTSD, which is like complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and she talks about borderline and narcissistic moms, and, you know, so I realized ultimately most of this stuff stems from childhood trauma. It stems from childhood trauma, childhood neglect, childhood abuse, sexual abuse, physical abuse, and emotional neglect. That's where the root of all these disorders, all these mental illnesses, all of this stuff comes from that. Your childhood. Your childhood is the most important part of your life, because that is what grooms you to be who you are as an adult. Everything that you do as an adult stems from how you were raised. Every single thing. You know, and I realized like me suffering the emotional neglect is why I go inward. I feel like no one cares about me anyway, so I go inward. I have to make the peace in myself, and, you know, let's just go ahead and get to it, because it's already 13 minutes long. This video might get long, y'all know how I do, but this is like a lesson video where if you can relate to this or any other disorders. And what I'm realizing, because I compare the disorders, and, you know, I analyze the people in my life, my mom. I told y'all the 3 main characters in my story, my mom and both my baby dads. So I analyze their behaviors, and I analyze my behavior, so I'm able to see, like, that's how I can tell what kind of like disorders they have. But a lot of these disorders overlap. They have similar symptoms, you know. So basically it says schizoid personality disorder is an adaptation to a childhood environment characterized by some of the following situations. The child was treated as if he or she was a thing, not a person with emotions and preferences. And that's what it's like. That's what it's like for me. And that's why I just told y'all in that video, one of these hour videos that I just did, either what I finding my purpose in my wilderness season, or the one about our first time being homeless during the holidays. I really was talking a lot in that video about the holidays. I was really talking a lot in that video, and I was telling y'all that even with me about to move here, like my mom, the way she just carried me when it was time for me to move here. And that morning when I was crying to her because of how everybody was just treating me because I'm trying to get my kids to safety. Me and myself, I just wanted to be free and get away. And it's like people are mad at me for wanting to get away when you guys are not even helping me while I'm here. So it's like, why are you so mad that I want to leave? Because the little bit of times that y'all do be around me or talk to me, those are the times when y'all pouring y'all stuff on me, and I'm just here eating it all up, soaking it all in, and being everybody's emotional dump. But nobody wants to be my emotional dump. That's why I just hold it all in. You know, I hold it all in. I feel like people don't really care about my problems, so why talk about it? These people that I care about, you know. I don't expect for regular people to really care, but I'm talking about my so-called loved ones. So, you know, they always treat me like I can't have feelings. I'm not allowed to have feelings. I didn't say that to y'all in them videos. Like, they act like I'm not allowed to have feelings. Like, I was venting to her crying that morning. I'm like, because my daughter Nana was, man, she was blowing me like, and I'm like, dang, everybody just really coming at me. Like, I'm like, dang, what did I do to y'all? What did I do to y'all? And she was like, get it together. You're about to get on that plane with them. I'm like, dang, I'm not allowed to cry. Like, how about you say, it's okay, baby. Like, you know, just, it's okay. Don't worry about them people. Like, I'm never getting comforted. It's always like get it together. I don't want to hear that noise. No. Like, you know, and that's why with my daughter, because I find myself even doing that to her sometimes, depending on what she's crying about. But I have to understand, too, that she has emotions. And it might not be serious to me, but it's serious to her. So lately, just like through me self-reflecting and learning my own stuff, I'm trying to, because I want to raise her, you know, both of my kids, I want to raise them healthy because I'm their primary caregiver. So what I do matters a lot because they're getting most of their nourishment from me. They're getting that from me. So if I'm acting these ways towards them, I'm the one that's going to really create their mental health. Because like for me, my mom is the one who really created these issues for me. It's not my dad because he wasn't the one that was there. The caregiver that is around is the one that has the most impact on you. Like, yeah, I might face abandonment issues from him or whatever. I know I have issues that stem from him, but most of it was from my mom. Most of it was from her because she was the one that I lived in the house with, you know. But stuff do come from him too. Like I'm able to see like I'm very self-aware, and because I'm very self-aware, this is how I know that something is wrong. You know, at one point I used to be like, I'm good, like, but I wasn't good. That's why I was smoking all that weed, like smoking hella weed, having anxiety, and I just smoked the weed, like, cause I'm like, I don't really have nobody to talk to. Like, I didn't used to tell people my problems. I used to act like I'm good. I just try to be positive because I'm not allowed to even have negative emotions. I can only have positive emotions. So if you're expressing any type of emotion, it needs to be a positive one. Who cares? Get over it. So what? That just happened. Just get over it and put a smile on. But ultimately, that wasn't helping me. That was hurting me. It was hurting me because I'm just burying and suppressing things, and suppressing it is not necessarily dealing with it. You have to feel those emotions. You have to allow those negative emotions to flow. Feel it. Let it out. Process it. So you're not holding it in. And then when something else happens, that's when you become like a ticking time bomb. Like I have become, you know. So, sorry, I got off a little bit, but it also says it's also characterized by the child's personal space not being respected, and he or she experienced the adults as both insensitive and highly intrusive. Yes, that has been my experience. That's how my mom was to me. And my brother, because that's her minion. She's a narcissist, and he's her enabler, and he's a minion, and whatever she does, it's okay. It's all right. That's mom. That's mommy. That's just who mommy is. That's what mommy does. That doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it okay. And she believes, I'm your mother. How these narcissistic mothers be. You're my mother, yes, but that don't mean that you get to just treat me any kind of way, because I'm a person. I'm a human. I'm not a thing. Like I said, I'm not a thing. I'm a person. I'm a human with feelings. My feelings matter. Kids' feelings matter. Y'all already know how I feel about the kids. Kids' feelings matter. I'm going to start that movement. Kids' feelings matter, because they do matter. Then we wonder why when we grown into these relationships, why we can't have healthy functioning relationships, why we're constantly feeling like we're with someone, we live with a person, we're in a relationship with them, but we still feel alone. Because these people are suffering from things that they have never healed from. People act like, oh, two-parent household, that's the main secret ingredient to raising healthy children is a two-parent household. Long as there's two humans in that house, a man and a woman, long as there's two of them in there, the kids are going to grow up phenomenally. And that's an absolute bull is BS. It's a lie. It's a lie. Read the room. When you go under these Dr. Romney channel, all these other people, all of these psychologists that I watch, they are white people or some other nationality. And all the people in the comments is from all walks of life. It ain't just black people, it ain't just white people, it ain't just Indians, it ain't just Spanish, it's all walks of life. And everybody condemns the black community because we don't have these two-parent households. We got all these broken homes, and we feel like that's the reason for everything. No, it's family. It's people that come from two-parent households that have these same exact issues, because it's about the quality of the parent. It's about the quality of the caregivers. Just like in the hospital, you don't want just a nurse. You want a good nurse, a nurse that's gonna nurture you and tend to you, not just leave you there to sit there and rot and get all these, what they get when they sit them there for too long. They start getting sores and stuff on their body. They don't come give you your medicine when you're supposed to. You don't want just any type of caregiver. You want a qualified. Just like when they hiring at these jobs, you don't want to just hire anybody to fulfill this role. You want to hire the person that is the most fit for the role, who has the great qualities, the great attributes that's going to put this company in a position to thrive. It's the same with the home, with the family. You want caregivers that are going to be physically a provider, because all these parents think they provide and they've done their goddamn going job. But a lot of them have lacked the nurturing, the emotional aspect of it. The emotional aspect of it is key. That's key. Because that's what's the most important. We got to provide, of course. That's by default, because at the end of the day, you're providing for yourself. If you living in a home, what you going to have? You live in the house, you're going to have your daughter, your son go live out in the doghouse outside, in the yard, laying on a mat outside. That's a given. You're going to eat, so of course your kids are going to, even though you got some parents who will go to those extremes and try to starve their kids and all type of stuff. But they have mental illnesses once again because of how they were treated from whoever their caregiver was, because it might not have been mom or dad. They might have lived with auntie, grandma, foster home, whoever it was. The caregiver, the one who was there majority of the time, is the one who has the major impact. And even that caregiver who might not be there majority of the time, when they do get to go with them, what they do to them, because children see their caregivers, they see adults, period, as one who's supposed to protect them. So if you're not protecting them, you're harming them, you're doing them an injustice. And now they're going to go throughout life, and then they're going to start acting out on people. They're going to start doing these things to other people because they were groomed to do that. They feel like that's what it was done to me. You know how these people think it was done to me, so I'm going to do it to you. I mean, some people think that that's how it's supposed to be because it was done to them. They don't know no better. But some people do know better. They know that they didn't like what was done to them, but they'll go and do it to another person just because they feel like that demonic spirit that's on them. They feel like, well, it was done to me. Let me do it to you so you can see, so I can feel good. Now I did it to somebody because somebody did it to me. That's not cool, bruh. I got off a little bit. One thing about me is, because I end up going into situations and stuff, but let's go to the next thing. It says the child was another situation that causes this disorder basically is the child was physically and or sexually abused. which I was. I wasn't like physically abused a lot by my mom, but I do have instances where I will never forget. And mainly the main one that really bothers me still that I'm just like processing is when she bust my nose that day in the car. Like, I always would get hit for like, I guess, saying stuff, and not I guess, for saying stuff that because I wasn't in agreement with her. You know, a narcissistic person, they want you to agree with everything they say. You can't go against me because you're my child. You're supposed to be an extension of me. You're supposed to agree with everything I say and do, even if it's wrong. And now being grown, even with how like she always tried to make it seem like her friend was wrong that time we went on that vacation. But now that I'm grown, I'm like, you were the one in the wrong. But I haven't told her that. Nope, haven't told her that because I don't. You the more I realize, and this is why I think she has started to hate me with me growing up and becoming independent and knowing who I am, and especially since I've built my relationship with God, because it's exposed a lot of who she is. And as a narcissist, they don't want to see themselves in this negative light because they have an image that they like to ever hold, and they act like they're the most perfect person in the world. They do no wrong. They are, you know, the epitome of what a good person should be. They like to put on masks, and when in reality, that's not who they really are. They really are very insecure people. They don't know it because they're not self-aware. They lack that self-awareness factor. They're very emotionally unintelligent. Inintelligent? Whatever. But and I want to do another video about emotional intelligence because for a minute I was thinking I was not emotionally intelligent, but it's different factors to it. And I lack the self-regulation part, which is that BPD in me. That's the only factor of emotional intelligence that I do lack. It's that self-regulation. And I realized that's the BPD part of me where I will go 0 to 100 on you. I'm either going to shut down or I'm going to go 0 to 100 on you. So, you know, I have both of these personality disorders. I see it. Like, I'm a loner. I'm very antisocial. I feel like I be saying I got social anxiety because like when I get around other people, I don't like big crowds. I don't like groups. You'll never see me rolling in a group of people. I'm not that. I roll alone. I walk alone. I like to do everything by myself. Like everything. It feels, you know, especially of course with my kids, I like to do stuff with my kids. But other grown-ups, other people like my age and stuff, I really like to roll alone. I don't want to go shopping with nobody. I want to go to the nail salon by myself. I'll go out to eat by myself. I'll do everything by myself. Like, I love just being in solitude, being alone with my thoughts, just being alone. Like, I love it. But, you know, I have told y'all that I was sexually abused, and that obviously has played a part into this disorder. And I did a video about, I was talking about this in that sex is the root of evil video that y'all gonna see before this one. And a lot of people have been sexually abused or physically abused or emotionally neglected, which is what caused these disorders. So then it says there were no adult caregivers who protected the child from abuse. And that's how I feel. I feel like I'm in a world alone by myself. Like none of the major things that has happened in my life, no one was ever there to protect me and save me. Like I've been fighting by myself for myself my entire life. Like I did a video on this, but because of my storage, I had deleted it. It was like a story time basically about that time with my mom when I was pregnant. It's just, I might do the video over. This is why I should have just posted the video then, but I was like, I don't want to keep telling too much because I do feel like I overshare a lot on here, but you guys are my therapist, period. So, and for so long, I was so private about a lot of stuff because I'm like, I mean, I didn't even understand. I didn't even care. I didn't even trip about what was going on in my life. So I'm like, ain't nothing to really talk about. I'm good. Everything's good. I don't, like, I've suppressed everything. It's just like, something that happened. I'm like, all right, whatever. It is what it is. It's just charge it to the game. I done took so many losses. I'm like, fuck a loss. I don't care. Like, it is what it is. Move on to the next thing. Like, okay. But you're not really dealing with it. And now that's stored in your brain. And that's what's creating that PTSD. So now when you're faced with a similar situation again, it's like, oh, I'm having like a flashback. Oh, I'm like living that I've already lived. I'm living this again. Or if I see like behaviors or signs of something that I've already encountered before, and I see you doing it now, and that's like, oh, it's like it triggers that PTSD, obviously, from a prior traumatic stress issue, a prior traumatic issue that caused severe stress and sent my body into fight or flight mode. Just learning a lot about these disorders. Like, I have betrayal trauma. I have severe betrayal trauma. And that's also why I don't like to get close to people. Because I just feel like ultimately the way that people operate, the way the human species operate, you're going to do something to betray me. To betray my trust, to betray my love, to betray the loyalty, to break like the code. I feel like it's just certain codes with me, and a lot of people don't have no integrity. They don't have no morals. They'll snake you out. They'll switch up on you every chance that they get when it's beneficial. Like, just like, look at what I got stories for days. I can go and do a bunch of story times. But this year I've just once again, like, dang, you switched up like a, you know, that little Kodak song in Super Gremlin. He was like, you had to switch like a pussy little bee. Like, you had to switch like a little bit, like a little female dog. You had to switch, and for what? Like, people can't be real. It's like people just, they be having their own motives and hidden agendas and secret animosity towards you. So when faced with the right opportunity, they'll snake you out. Like, that's what I'm saying. I got story times for days. And now I see why I move this is why I move how I do. And I'd rather just stay to myself. I don't want no friends. I don't want no relationship. I don't even want no family no more, except my own kids. Because like, once something happens, I feel like I can never look at you the same. Like, I can never look at you the same. That's what turns me from that you're a cool person to it's like it's either all good or all bad. Because you might have been cool, we might have had some great experiences, but that one thing you did that triggered that PTSD, betrayal issues that I face, that one thing you did now make me see you as all bad. That's like with my mom now. I'm like, I don't know. I can never really rekindle the relationship with her. You called CPS on me, bruh. And then my baby daddy's like, y'all been linking up with this girl. Like, y'all been with this lady. Y'all, I just can't. I could never bang with none of them for real like that no more. Once you take stuff to a certain level, there's no coming back from it. And for me, that's why I don't rekindle friendships. I don't like rekindling friendships. I don't like rekindling relationships for real. Once it's done, bruh, it's done. It's dead. I wish you well, but I don't want no parts of you. I want you to thrive, but thrive far away from me. Give me 50 feet. You don't need to be by me. Go thrive over there. You know, there's no gray area with me. It's like you're either going to do right or you're going to not do right. You know, I know that people are going to make mistakes, and because people are going to make mistakes, I don't want to be around you, because certainly if you make that one kind of mistake that goes against my principle, morals, and values, then it's like I'll never be able to trust you again. Trust is crucial for me. Trust is crucial for me. And if I can't trust you, what I want to be around you for? You're a non-motherfucking factor. What I want to be around you for? But it says some of the ways these children adapted to the above situations persist in adulthood. Through interpersonal safety, they are extremely concerned with feeling safe in interpersonal situations. As a result, a schizoid individual prefer to live by themselves. Yes, I love living by myself. I lived with my first baby daddy, and now I never want to live with nobody else again. I love having my solitude. I don't want nobody else in my space. And the only way I would live with a person like a spouse or somebody, I can't live with my mom and them. I don't want to live with nobody. I don't want to live with nobody. Like, I even told y'all in these videos, when I do buy a house, I want to be far away. I don't even want no neighbors. Like, I don't, I'm not regular. I don't like to, that's what this whole disorder is. You don't want to socialize with other people. Like, you literally don't have no desire to be around other people, associate with other people. Like, even when we booked that trip to Florida last year, and that's why I was like, I made sure to book us a house big enough for everybody to have their own rooms. Like, when I go around my family, like on holidays or whatever, when I was going around them, I'm like, I can't be around y'all. Don't expect me to be out here communing with y'all for too long. Like, you might get 2 hours, 3 hours or whatever, but after that, I gotta go back into solitude. I'm not the type of person who can be around my friends for hours, be around my dude, being all like connected, like we the Siamese twins. Like, I can't do that. I have to get my alone time. Like, I crave my alone time, even when it comes to my children. Like, this is why I can't wait to get up out of this situation, because I need my daughter to have her own room again. I need it. Like, I don't have that escape place for me to go to be with myself and be to myself. And I'll start to get really bitchy. If I cannot get alone time. I crave alone time. That's why I like getting out in nature, going to places that's quiet. I don't like noise for real. Like, I grew up by myself for real. I spent so much time by myself, growing up. When I was in the house, like, of course I used to have friends and stuff, go hang with my friends sometimes. But as I started to get into like adolescence ages, my, teenager years, and I was in the house so much, when I was in the house, it was like I was in a big house by myself, just in the house by myself. I don't know where everybody was. Well, I know my mom was at work some, a lot of times, but even when she get off, she go hang out, My brother, he wasn't home. I don't know. I just don't know. I used to just be in my room. I would lock myself in my room. I would turn the alarm on, make my food, do all, like, take care of myself, clean up the house, do all of that, turn the alarm on, go right to my room and lock the door. Like, and I would stay in that room. And my mom even would say that, like, when her friends come over, they're like, Tania always in her room. What is in that room? My solitude, me being at one with myself. And just, it's very interesting. So the other thing is, they often become fiercely independent from other people because they lack basic trust in other people's willingness, motives, and ability to take care of them. Like I just told y'all, like, I can't trust like that. I don't feel like people have my best interest at heart. It's really more about them than about the both of us. They're selfish. A lot of these people are selfish. This is why I tend to attract these narcissistic, selfish people, because I'm empathic. I want to be of service to everyone. I'll put my own needs last for everyone else. This is why I like to do things alone, because oftentimes, like, I like it to be a vibe. I'm not confrontational for real, but when faced with the issue, I do like to get down to the bottom of the issue. I don't like to just act like ain't nothing happened. I like to address the issue. And if I gotta turn up on you as part of addressing the issue, then so be it. But I'm not just gonna let everything just slide like that. Like, I'm not gonna do that. But I know that I'll typically, like, if you want to do something and I don't really want to do it, like, long as it doesn't go against my major principles, morals, and values, long as it's not, I'm fine. I'll do it. Like, if we go on vacation and I might not really want to go to the club, but if y'all want to go to the club, all right, we'll go to the club. Like, y'all want to go eat at this cheesy restaurant, like, and where we're going to just be eating damn chicken tenders and pizza and stuff. I want to go somewhere where I can get some seafood, some good stuff, like something I ain't ate before. But if y'all want to go here, fine, we'll just go here. Like, that's the type of person I am. And oftentimes I don't get my needs met because I'm trying to get everybody else's needs met. So that's why I've been learning during this season. God has truly been teaching me to place boundaries. Place boundaries. Don't be a doormat for nobody. You have to have boundaries. And I truly lack that because of these dang on disorders I have, obviously, because my feelings never mattered anyway. So it's like, now it's hard for me to even put my own feelings first. I have to put everybody else's feelings first. Because my feelings never mattered to nobody. It's just sickening. It says they often develop an elaborate fantasy life in which they can safely experience the interpersonal satisfactions that they do not get in their actual life. I do, and this is why I'm a daydreamer. This is why I'm a dreamer. Like, I live in my head. Everything is head about me. Like, everything is about my head. That's why with a person like I'm dealing with, you have to be able to stimulate my brain. If you can't still stimulate my brain, even as a friend, if we can't talk about deeper stuff, like, and stuff that I'm really interested in, like, that's about elevating and growth, I don't really want to talk to you a whole conversation with you. It's like, I don't want to talk about stupid stuff. I like to talk about stuff that is going to teach me something. I'm a student. Like, I'm always a student. I want to learn. I want to grow. I want to prosper. So because I want to do that, I like to talk about things that will lead to my growth. This is why I do love YouTube, and I have the part of social media that I do like is because I'm able to find people that relate to me, because the people in my everyday life that was in my life, I can't talk to y'all about business. I can't talk to y'all about psychology. I can't talk to y'all about these demonic spirits out here, the spiritual realm. I can't talk to y'all about God. I can't talk to y'all about this type of stuff. You know? So this is why I love YouTube, because I finally feel like I found my communities where I fit in at. Like, I find people that relate to me. What make me don't feel like I'm crazy and just an outcast. Like, I finally found my people that are like me. And everybody has that with YouTube. Even the other people, the demon seeds, they find other demon seeds out here that do the same wickedness as them. And you find somebody you fit in, so it make you feel less crazy. But I live in my head because I do have dreams, and I realize, like, I dissociate a lot because my current circumstance is like, I just see in my head. What's in my head is way more beautiful than what's in the present. Even now, it's like I see myself in my dream home, on my land, by myself, just being at one with nature, and just like in my dream home, I see it, like, because what's in my mind is way more beautiful than what is here. Like, this brown stuff, I hate brown, and I hate this. This ain't my type of decor, you know? So in my brain, I really do. I have imagination, like, and I realized as a child, most kids have imagination, especially when you're in these situations that it's like, I can't believe this is my reality. Like, when you go through certain stuff, you be like, I can't believe this is what's happening. So you naturally ascend to a different level so you can escape from, it's an escape thing too. Kids naturally have imagination, but when you're faced with traumas, you want to escape the reality of what's going on. Like, I can't believe, like, I say that a lot. I be like, I can't believe this has happened. Even now with this whole falling out with my mom and stuff, and with all of this stuff, I be like, I still can't believe this. I can't believe it. And it says limited contact. They develop strategies to limit and control the amount of intimate contact that they have with other people. I do. I don't get close with people. Even my case manager here, she was like, you stay to yourself. I was like, yeah, I got social anxiety. Like, I don't really like to, I'm not here to make friends. I never, anywhere I go, I'm not there to make friends, which is why I don't try to go out my way to talk to people, build relationships with people. I don't like to build relationships with people. And most of the relationships that I've had, whether it was like, just friends or relationship, they came to me. They drew themselves to me. One thing about it is I realized that with me, like, people gravitate towards me. It's like I'm like a dang on magnet, and I attract. It's like I attract people that want to suck me dry. Like, that's that empath in me. I naturally attract leeches, energy vampires. They want to suck all this good life out of me. I'm so mysterious because of the way I move. I'm so mysterious to these people because I stay to myself. I'm in my own lane. Like, I'm so tunnel vision. I'm focused on what I got going on. I don't really care about what nobody else got going on. I just do me. I do me. I'm not worried about what you got going on. Long as you good, like, long as I know you healthy, you good. You mean, if you need anything, of course I'm there for you. But overall, I'm so focused on what I got going on that I don't care about what you going on. I don't care to know your plans. I'm not trying to keep tabs on you. But these type of people, these narcissistic people, they want to keep so many tabs on me, bruh. They want to keep so many tabs on me. Like, this is why I can't do relationships with insecure people. Because they want to think you cheating, think you doing this. The whole time I'm just focused on my mission. I'm focused. I'm focused. No matter what gets thrown in my way. My vision, I live in here. I live in my head. And in my head, I see what I want and I know what I want in here. So because I see, like, I have a picture of what my dream life is in my head. It's like I have pictures in here. And because I see that, I'm not going to stop working until that picture matches out here, until my environment becomes that picture that's in my brain. And, you know, that's why people be trying to keep tabs on me, want to know my plans. What's your plan? What are you going to do? What's your goals? No one will ever really know all of that. As much as I even vent to y'all and tell you guys things, no one is truly going to ever know what, like, all my plans are. No one is going to know all the keys. Like, you're not gonna know that. One thing about it is I always leave something out. You'll never know everything. Like, it's just a part of, like, my little, like, mischievousness, or I don't even know if that's the word I'm looking for, but I like to be, like my mom said, and like my baby dad said, they feel like you're just so, like, secretive. Like, it's not that I'm secretive, I just don't feel like you should know everything, especially because I don't trust you. It takes me to really trust you to pour out a lot of things, you know. But with me getting on this journey or whatever, I realized, like, I'm definitely way more vocal. Like, some of the things I've revealed to y'all, it's like a lot of people that's even in my close family and friends have never knew about these things. They never knew about it. They be watching me on here, so now they might know some things because they be watching me and got people watching me and stuff. But they didn't even know these things. Like, I read to y'all in videos a couple months ago. My mom sent me them letters after we got into the situation or whatever. She was like, you've always been so private, this, that, and that. Yeah, because you don't really care anyway. Like, you don't really care. And when you only want to know stuff so you can do your witch spells on it, like, to go against it. But it also says, so that's what it's saying. It says they may dissociate from their body or split off thinking from feeling. And that's what I do. I don't really like to feel. Like, I don't like feelings. But now, through this season, these past 9 months, like from March to now, March to December, today is one of the last, it's December 29th. And from March to December, I've learned to embrace the feelings. Like, stop, like, feelings is our sixth sense that no one talks about. We don't just have 5 senses, we have 6 feelings. No one talks about the feelings. You have feelings. That's how you can feel the heat. You can feel the coldness. You can go outside. You can't touch the air. You're not touching the air. When you get by the stove, you don't have to touch the stove or touch the oven to feel the heat from it. You have those senses in your skin. You have feelings. And no one wants to talk about those. That's what's truly one of your most important senses. One of the most important ones. You cannot have vision and still have feelings. You know? But it says, like, in order to feel safe, they usually try and choose jobs in which they either have the authority to control the situation or their contact with other people is limited, such as working in a lab with computers as writers, For example, if they are doctors, they're likely to set up their own practice instead of working in a hospital or as part of a group practice. That's exactly what I said. Because I said if I do go back to school for psychology, because, you know, if I get into that lane, even though now I don't think I'm going to do that. I know my lane now, you know, because a lot of this stuff is really spiritual. Psychology is new age, it's new terms. A lot of this stuff is spiritual. Spiritual. All this stuff is really spiritual. But I was like, I'm a buy my own practice. I ain't trying to go work up with nobody else. Like, I just believe in doing my own. This is why I always want to like start my own business and doing something, because I don't want to have to work around other people. And I do get jobs like that where I don't have to interact with other people. I like to, now I am a team player, but I like to have my own tasks, do my own thing, do my part that contributes to the team, but I want to work by myself for real. Like, I'm a by myself type of person. Like I told y'all, I like to do things by myself. You know, and just like my view on things is just, I feel like that's why I be like, I don't really need a partner. I just feel like people put too much emphasis and pressure on having partners. I don't really have to have that. Like, I was reading something on here. What did it say? Let me go to it. Where was the thing it was talking about? Because it said, what are some symptoms of this disorder? And it said people with this disorder are reclusive, organizing their lives to avoid contact with other people. Many never marry or may continue to live with their parents as adults. And they have no close friends except first-degree relatives. They have difficulty relating to others. They're indifferent to praise or criticism. Yes, I'm definitely like that. Like, I don't need validation from you, or you. Like, I'm going to do me regardless. Whether you're happy and praising me on, or whether you're criticizing what I'm doing. Like, I will take, you know, I'll listen to you and hear you out. But because I'm so self-aware, I already know. I know the real. I'm a realist. I'm a realist. So I know where I'm effing up at. I know. And I know where I'm doing good at. I don't really need your praise, but I mean, it's cool. It's new for me to even get praises and stuff, like for doing good, because I just feel like that's what you're just supposed to do. I was just, you know, raised like that's just what you're supposed to do. You're just supposed to do that. You're just supposed to do it. So it's like, I don't really need praise. Like, I'm happy for myself, so I don't need other people to be happy for me. And when I'm doing things that is not good, I'm like, I get upset with myself. Like, Tania, you know better than that. So it's like, I don't really seek validation from people. You know, and it says they don't desire or enjoy close relationships, even with family members. That's why I say, like, I never really had a desire to marry. I was never, you know, of course I was in my mom's wedding, but I was never really taught to marry. And I don't really care to marry. I don't feel like, I don't really see the true benefit in it, because I know who I am. And I know that you get 3 strikes and you out. And because we're human, we're going to make mistakes. You're going to do something. And now I'm going to want to not deal with you anymore. And that's why I was like, I want a big house, a big enough house that you got your own space to go to. I definitely believe if I was to have a man, you got to have your own man cave. I got to have my privacy. The kids need to have their space. Everybody needs space. That's why I want a big house. I want a big house. And then when it is time to come together, then we come together and like have movie nights and have game nights and, you know, have dinner together. I do believe in that. I do believe in unity like that, you know, with having a family. I like that aspect, but I'm not the type of person that want to be around somebody 24/7. I'm not the type of person who feel like I want to have to tell you everything, and I have to check in with you, and I have to always look out for you. And that's why I just think that that's not for me. Like, I've done being with my first BD and how we were. I mean, it was cool. I'm not gonna lie, it was cool when it was cool. But I just don't want to have to. It felt good once we broke up or whatever, and I left. And I was like, I ain't gotta. If I go out to get something to eat, I don't gotta be like, you want something? Like, you know, because naturally I do. I'm not selfish. So if I do get something, I gotta ask if you want something, like, because that's the type of person I am. But I'm like, I don't really gotta marry. So it says they are aloof and show little emotion, and they might daydream. We always talk about that. They might daydream and create vivid fantasies of complex inner lives. And I already told y'all that. And then it says they lack negotiating skills. And I do. That's one thing I'm trying to learn, especially with getting into, like, you know, I want to keep growing in business. Like, the lane that I'm walking into, I need to really have great negotiating skills. Like, so I'm really trying to learn how to negotiate. It says most schizoid individuals came from homes in which whomever had the power set the terms. Ain't no negotiating. I said what I said. You're going to do what I want to do. So as a result, in adulthood, they often do not realize that negotiation with other people is actually possible. They usually believe that either they have to accept the other person's terms or leave the relationship entirely. Yes, that's exactly how I am. That's why I'm like, because they don't compromise. I was talking to y'all about this in that video. People don't like to compromise. So that's why I think I don't like to negotiate, because people never want to compromise with me. They never do. So I'm like, I'm either forced to just do it your way, or I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. So I'm out. Chuck the deuce and I'm out. See ya. Wow. Wow, because this is how these narcissists make me feel. I attract nothing but freaking narcissists. And this is how they've made me feel. No compromise. It says existential dread. Some schizoid individuals fear that they have distanced themselves so much from other people that it is no longer possible to reconnect. This is accompanied by a depression that is characterized by a combination of terror, a sense of deadness, and the belief that life is inherently meaningless. I already told y'all that, like, I feel like there is meaning to life, but I don't feel like it has anything to do with other people. I don't have to be around you for my life to have meaning. Like, I give my life meaning. Me and God has given my life meaning. He has showed me my purpose. He gave me meaning. He's done that. He's the one who done it for me. So I don't feel like I even need a fleshly made person, because it's like, at this point, especially with me building this relationship with God, it's like, what I need you for? Are you going to come through like God come through? Are you going to be there? Are you going to protect me? Are you going to give me that emotional nourishment that I'm looking for? Because it's not about just physical protection for me. It's about the emotional protection. Are you going to cater to my feelings? Are you going to care about my feelings? Or is it going to only be about your feelings? Is it only going to be one-sided? You know? It says the above is a brief outline of some of the major features generally associated with schizoid personality disorder. If we contrast it with borderline and narcissistic adaptations, we could generalize and say that if they had to choose one of the following, love, admiration, or safety, the borderline individual chooses love. I don't choose it. But I want, because I want all of it. That's why I'm like an all or nothing type of person. Like, it's all or nothing. You can't, it ain't no stipulations to this. This ain't that type of contract. It's all or nothing. It ain't no clauses in it. You got to cover all of the aspects. That's why I can't be in these relationships, because they always lack in something. You may have the affection. You may have the nurturing. You might have the providing. That's why I say, if I could live with both of my baby daddies, if I could be in a relationship, if I was that type of poly type of girl, both of my baby daddies together would be my dream man. But individually, no. But even though I still need that component of caring. I feel like my second baby daddy, he definitely cares a little bit more about my feelings, but he still do have times where he disregard my feelings and act like he never did nothing. And you don't care that you let me down. You feel like that's a minor thing because you haven't done these things that these other guys have done to me. So you feel like you're better because at least you ain't did that stuff, but you still let me down. So that's part of the safety. I don't feel safe with you. I don't feel that with you. But I do feel like if I could have both of them together, as like put both of them together as one man, I would have my dream man. I would have the perfect man. But that's not reality. So I don't want nothing, because I'm all or nothing. I either get all I want or I don't want none of it. I don't want to settle. I don't settle in my spirit. That don't align. Those two, nah. Get somebody else to do it. But it says the borderline individual chooses love and the narcissistic individual chooses admiration. And they do. Narcissists love and admiration. That's why they seek validation so bad. And the schizoid chooses interpersonal safety. I just want to feel safe. That's all I care about. I want to feel safe. And I feel the safest when I'm alone, by myself, to myself. Because I don't have to go 0 to 100 on nobody. I don't have to go into that. I don't have to bring that demon out if I'm just to myself. When I get that time to myself and just get to, like now, like the kids are gone, it's just like peaceful. Just like as much as I don't really want them in daycare and stuff, it's like I be needing that quietness, it's so quiet. I can hear my own thoughts. I can listen to my own videos in peace without hearing all these noises going on and stuff. And somebody pulling on me, tugging on me, touching on me. Like, and I even have to tell my daughter that sometimes, like last night, they got on my nerves last night. And I was like, she was like, Mommy, hug. I was like, oh. I gave her because I'm like, I don't want no hug right now. Like, how many hugs do we need? Because my daughter is so affectionate. Like, she's going to tell you she love you 1,000 times throughout the day. She's going to say she miss you if you away from her. Like, that's what she do to her daddy. Daddy, I just miss you. Like, and even me and him have talked about that before. He was like, yeah, because when he was getting her on his weekends and stuff before we moved, he was like, and one thing about she going to say she love you 100 times. She gonna say that she does, like, and it can become irritating because it's like, okay, I said it already. Like, how many times do you need to tell me you love me? Like, how many hugs do you need? So this morning I was like, Mommy, I'm sorry that I was a little irritated yesterday. Like, I don't want you to think that I don't want your hugs or whatever. I love your hugs. Like, I love that you love me. I love it. I love all the love that you have to give. And for her to give all that love is obviously that she's receiving all of that love for her to even know how to give it. So I definitely love that. And I don't want her to change it. I don't want her to become resistant with like, can I hug Mommy? Can I not? Like, so I just be open with her and let her know that Mommy has her mental issues that I'm dealing with and I'm processing, like, so this video is like an hour long, but I really do relate to this. Like, I've never been diagnosed with any of these, like, because I'm not going to no psychiatrist, because if they try to put me on some medicine, y'all not about to put me on no paperwork. And in one breath, I be thinking I should get put on paperwork, so that way if I ever do snap, that way y'all can send me to the mental institution instead of sending me to jail. But I don't know, I don't want them sedating me and drugging me up in these mental places. That's why I'm like, I don't need to go see none of y'all. And even with all the anxiety that I used to have, I don't really have that. Ever since I surrendered my life to God, I don't really have that. I don't really have the issue. Like, I don't worry as much anymore. Like, that anxiety, like, that's why I used to smoke so much. I don't worry as much anymore. Now, I do still binge eat and stuff, like when I get stressed or when I'm just like irritated and stuff. I just go to food. That's why I've always been like a big girl, because food has always been my BFF. And then once I started smoking weed, the weed became my BFF. I didn't have the friends and all of that like that. So it's like, I don't need a friend. I just needed my weed. Like, if I had to choose a human or the weed, I'm choosing the weed. I don't need you. I don't need you. I need the weed. And now I've replaced the weed with God. And so it's like, now that I have God, I don't need the weed or I don't need you. Now, granted, I do want to start smoking again. Like, I just miss smoking, but just like cool. Like, not cool, like, as far as trying to be cool for other people, because I was smoking in my own privacy. But it felt good to be high. It felt good to be high. I was like a literally functioning weed smoker. Like, I had to smoke before everything. I'll smoke before I go to work. I'll smoke before I go to class when I used to be in college. I just love being high. It feel good. Like, it just feels good being high. But I had to stop being so dependent on it and stuff. And me growing my relationship with God and stuff, like, I don't need the weed. Like, I used to think I needed it. I was a fiend for it. Like, I need my weed. I need my weed. Wake up in the morning. If I wake up in the middle of the night, let me hit my weed. I need my weed. But now it's like, Girl, you good, sis. You good. You have God now. But I wanted to read this because schizoid is not the same as schizophrenia. So I'm about to wrap it up soon, but just wait a minute, y'all. So it says schizoid personality is not the same as schizophrenia. The thing that where they overlap at, okay, so this is, what is the difference between the two? It says schizophrenia is a range of mental health conditions that causes a significant disconnection from reality. A person with schizophrenia may experience a combination of hallucinations, delusions, and extremely disorganized thinking and behavior that dramatically impairs their daily functioning. Schizoid, however, doesn't cause hallucinations or delusions, and the condition usually doesn't significantly affect a person's day-to-day functioning. Yeah, like I'm a highly functioning, all this stuff is I still can function. I'm still a motivated person. I'm still driven. I might have my times where I'm like, oh, whatever, but nonetheless, because that picture that's in my head. So because of the picture that lives in my head about my future, that's what the motivation is, because I got this picture in my head, like literally. So I don't hallucinate or delusion. I'm a realist. I can't fake, like I mean, I guess they're not faking. They really are seeing things. I don't see, like I'm not delusional, and I ain't hallucinating. I am very real and analytical. So it's like what you see is what you get. I'm not gonna hear nobody talking to me, and I know nobody's right here, and I ain't doing all that. So that's why I definitely know I got that. But yeah, and see, I don't have social anxiety. It says, what is the difference between social anxiety disorder and schizoid personality disorder? Social anxiety disorder is a mental health condition in which a person experiences intense and persistent fear of being criticized or judged by others. To cope with this fear, they avoid social interactions or situations as much as possible. The social anxiety is distinct from schizoid personality disorder because people with schizoid don't avoid social interactions due to fear of being criticized or judged. Rather, it's due to a general disinterest in forming relationships with others. Yeah, I don't care about being criticized or judged. People be looking at me. I'll be out at the store in my own zone, dancing, just minding my business, smiling, doing whatever. I don't care about other people's opinions about me. It's like irrelevant. I don't really care how you feel about me. Like how you feel about me is your problem, not my problem. Like that's your problem. It has nothing to do with me, sweetie. Nothing to do with me. That's your problem. Like that don't got nothing to do with me. But I just generally have a disinterest of forming relationships with others. I'm like, even with my daughter's friend, like her little BFF or whatever that, she has here, that we met here, and her mom is cool and we have so much in common. Like, but I just have a lack of interest of really getting close with her. Like she's cool, and part of me wants to build the relationship. I want to have a friend, like, but I'm also just, when I get to the point where I want to hang out and stuff, like go get something to eat maybe with you, like, I just be certain times like having a travel buddy. But I'm even to the point where I'm like, I might just, when I do get to that point where I'm ready to start traveling, when I got somebody to be with my kids, or when they grow up and stuff, I'm like, I can just go travel by myself and explore the land by myself. That way I can just do whatever it is I want to do, and I ain't got to compromise with nobody else and all of that, because I be lacking them boundaries and want to people please and doing stuff that I don't really want to do. But I also like to sometimes have people that, are extroverted, because I'm introverted. And I like to sometimes have people that are extroverted because they might get me out my comfort zone sometimes. But ultimately, I still want to go back into my shell. Like, I still want to go back into my shell. But even with like her, it's like, she probably like, that girl is like weird. But it's like, because truthfully, I like to talk. I like that we can chop it up or whatever, like when we see each other and stuff. But I don't really care to talk and text and all of that stuff. Like, I don't really care to do all of that. I just don't care to do it. I don't. Like, I really don't. But what's funny is growing up as a kid, like, it was everything I think started shifting as I got into like teenage years, maybe. Yeah, everything started more so like in teenage years. I stopped wanting to be around people like that. But even still, when I was in the house, I was just still to myself. But yeah, I just be, I be to myself, and I don't care about losing anyone. Like, it's giving nothing. I don't really care. I don't really care, but you know, I don't intentionally try to hurt other people by doing that. But you do something, and now, like I say, now I see you as either you ain't all good no more. Now you bad. You's a bad man. You's a bad girl. You're not my friend anymore. You did that. You know. Well, it says most personality disorders begin in the teen years when personality further develops and matures. But people with this disorder people with schizoid may display signs of this condition at an earlier age. You know, I guess I obviously did display signs like that, because even like, I'm never gonna forget my mom saying when we lived around Capitol Heights, and she would say, you came in the house, like them, I guess they were doing something to you, them kids outside was doing something to you. You came in the house and you said you don't want to play with them anymore. You don't want to be their friend anymore. And they came knocking on the door and you said you're not going back outside to play with them. Like, and I told y'all, she said my grandmother been seeing that I was observant and that, you know, I was just aloof. I was only close with who I was close with, like my cousins, you know, God rest their soul. Like, you know, my cousins, and then like I've always had like two good friends. I never had like a group of friends. I always have like one or two close friends. And it's like that even now. So it's like if I get a new friend, it might be one or two. Groups, three or more people, that ain't my style. I'm like I either roll by myself or you're gonna see me only with like one other person, maybe two other people. But it's like I've always been like this. And when I was younger, like in elementary, middle school, other people that I would hang around, it might be because that's my close friend. It's her friends. Like, you know, it ain't all of them ain't my friends. You know, they her friends, or they just associates. I have a lot of associates. I would associate at school and stuff, and like at work or whatever. But bring you into my personal life, get somebody else to do it. You ain't coming in my life. I don't feel like you need to be in my life. Like, you don't deserve a place in my life. You're just cool. Like, I use that friend word very loosely. I use love word very loosely. I don't believe in just, those are those titles, like I take titles serious. That's why if you're not living up to the title that you're supposed to have in my life, if you're not living up to that, and if you're not living up to the action of love on a consistent basis, I can't give you that title. I can't say that I love you. I can't, like, you know, I might like generally say, oh, I love you. Like certain people that I follow on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, I love this person. Like, because I relate to them. I like what they do for my soul, my mind. So I like them. I like their humor because they're humorous like me or something. But it ain't like I like love you. Like, you know, I feel like those are very powerful words. So I tread lightly with using friend, love, my boyfriend, my man. Like, I take titles. I really, like, I feel like a lot of people use titles and they just don't really live up to them. But I believe in truly leading by example. And if you have that title, then you have to embody everything that title is really supposed to represent. Not just an image of it, but literally walk it like you talk it on a daily, you know. While it says this disorder is relatively uncommon, about 3.1 to 4.9% of people in the United States have this condition. Wow. Because I do be saying, that's why I be like, I'm weird. Like, I'm weird. Like, and then that's what it, but, and it's funny because that's what it say on here. Like, when it said, what is schizoid personality? It say it's people with this disorder often appear odd or peculiar. And I think that's how people often be trying to figure me out, because I seem different. Like, it's something different about me. And they're interested, they're intrigued, and like, let me figure out what this is about her. Something about this girl. Like, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something about her. But all in all, yeah, this is what I have. I don't gotta go see no psychiatrist. God led me right to this stuff. That's why I say, who needs these therapists and stuff when you have God? Like, I don't need these people to tell me about myself or to sit here and listen to me, man. This is what social media is for. Let me let y'all listen to me, man. That's why I tell people, stop being so, everybody be like, oh, keep your business private, keep your this, keep your that. You're killing yourself. The enemy believes in, keep it a secret. Keep it to yourself. Of course, some things you're going to keep to yourself. Like, you don't give everybody all the keys to your house. You don't give everybody all the keys to your house, but why would you want to go pay a therapist who it's not a lot of, I mean, I can't say that, but from what I hear other people saying, it's not a lot of great therapists, but you're paying this person who don't know nothing about, they might can't relate to you at all. You're paying them for advice, and you're paying them just to be a listening ear, more so. You're paying for them to be a listening ear when you can build your community and you get paid for them being a listening ear. You know what I'm saying? It's like, work smarter, not harder. Like, save your coin, put that coin into investing in some property for your hair, for your family. Like, you're spending all these monies on these people when we have the internet. Why not use it for that reason? You know, why not use it to your advantage? Like, that's how I look at it. Like, you know, it's like a all-in-one thing. Not only can you make your own money off of being real with yourself, being real, it's helping you heal, helping you get out of that dark room that you've been in, helping you express emotions that you never feel like you can express, and in turn, expressing this, once you start to express yourself, have y'all ever like been gassy, and if you got a fart or something, or got a poop, and you know how your stomach, it start like rubbling, and you'll feel like gas in your back, and until you let it out, you getting all these bubble guts and all of that. That's kind of how it is when you holding in all these emotions and all this pain and all this trauma. If you don't let that stuff out, it's just like bubbling. You got the bubble guts for life. You got the bubble guts for life. And as you start to let it out, you start to feel better. You start to feel better. That's like ginger ale for an upset stomach. Like, just letting it out. It's helping it. It's more so truly healing it versus just treating it. Like, you get into the root of the issue. So I wouldn't even say it's like ginger ale for upset stomach. You would need to stop eating whatever it is that's causing you that upset stomach. Like, stop taking in, stop consuming this stuff. Stop putting yourself in these environments. Stop putting yourself around these people that are making you feel like this, that's causing that upset stomach. Learn boundaries. Ross says people with this personality disorder are rarely violent, as they prefer not to interact with people. Yeah, I feel like I'm not violent. I'm not caused. I don't go 0 to 100. As long, if I ain't got, that's why I don't like dealing with people, because I don't like to be mean. I don't like to be violent. I don't like to do that. But it gets to a point that's why when I don't let people in my life, I'm at my most peaceful state. I'm the happiest. I feel the best. But when I let these people into my life and I haven't quite learned the boundaries and I haven't done all the work, because I used to just avoid people to avoid having drama in my life. It's like when I have no people in my life, I don't have the drama. But when I start bringing people into my life, here comes the drama. And now here I am. I'm going to have to fight and defend myself, because I'm not going to just go out without a fight. I'm not going to just let you step all over me. I'm not sweet like that. Now, I'm a sweet person. I'm kind. I'm nice. But I'm not a doormat, and you're not gonna do that to me. So now I might have to turn up on you, and that little demon that's deep within them, I like to bury. Now that's gonna start to come on up to the front, please, to the front. And now I gotta turn up on you. That's the BPD, like, yeah. And that's why people be like, nah, when people be like, when I try to tell people like, yeah, I can be that. They be like, I don't like that guy. I did it in a video for y'all. I ain't even posted it yet, but I might go ahead and post it since I'm talking about it. But that guy, I was like, I told him off the rip, I'm like, I'm toxic because I already see with you. I'm not interested, sir. So leave me alone. Like, it's like people don't know how to take no for an answer. They want to keep trying because it's something curious about this girl. Let me just try. She's just playing hard to get. I don't want you. That's why I just said I'm toxic. I just said I'm toxic. You don't want me. You don't want me. Trust me, you don't want me. Like, and he's like, I don't get that from you. Yeah, because I'm not really that girl, but I can be that girl. I can be that girl. I don't want to be, but I know how people are, and they will cause you to be that girl. Without practicing the self-restraint. This is why I'm trying to learn how to self-regulate, because I shouldn't even allow anyone to get me to that point. But sometimes I just feel like with people, especially as humans, it's like they don't understand nice. Humans, like most people act like they just hate negativity, but look at the negativity videos that's out here. Videos based on negativity, those get more views. Those get more traction than videos about positivity. Even when I used to be on Twitter, if you tweet some negative stuff, that time I went on a rant about the girls saying that women don't take accountability, and Kevin Samuels was right about that part. I said, I see what he was talking about. That tweet blew the fuck up. That tweet blew up, bruh. Girls was mad as shit. But if I talk some positive stuff, like, build your relationship with God, pray, stay motivated, like, anything encouraging, that ain't gonna get as much traction. But if I talk shit, this is why I be talking shit. And I'm a very sarcastic person. I'm very sarcastic, like, and people be mad about that, but whatever. Like, sometimes I don't be trying to even be smart. It's just part of my personality. It's just part of my personality, because I be like, why would you even say that or ask that? Like, come on now. I even do it with my daughter. I be like, come on, don't ask questions that you already know the answer to. Don't even do that. Because that makes me get smart with you. But sometimes I don't really be trying to get smart. It's just like in my head. Just like with the guy earlier today, the man that worked here, I be like, and sometimes it just come out. When I'm thinking, sometimes it just come out. And I don't even mean for it to come out, but I'm thinking it. Like, so, yeah, y'all, this video is super long. I didn't even mean to make it this long, but this is a good lesson, and it says how is this treated? Through psychotherapy, a form of counseling, which is talking, a treatment that likely focuses on increasing general coping skills, as well as improving social interaction, communication, and self-esteem. And that's what I've broken out of that shell this year, like with getting on YouTube, and even like I try to respond to comments. I try to do that, like, part of me really don't want to. Like, that's how I know this is an issue. Like, part of me really don't want to, but I have to, especially when y'all showing me love and stuff. I'm like, I have to respond, like, but sometimes I just don't even see it. Because sometimes I be so busy working on the next video that I don't even go back to the old videos. I just post. But then if I get in my YouTube back office, it'll like show comments and stuff that has been unresponded to and stuff. So then I'll see it and then I'll be late. That's why sometimes I be late responding to y'all. But I do appreciate every last one of y'all that watch me and that really just be encouraging to me and really pour into me. And you know, as things start to grow for me, I definitely got something for y'all. I feel like I owe y'all. Like, one thing about me is I do be feeling like I owe people. Like, I feel like it's a favor for a favor. You doing me a favor, I gotta look out. I gotta look out, you know. But dang, I've been talking for a long time. It's time for me to go pick up the dang on kids. Dang. But yeah, y'all, this was a good chat, and I'll see y'all in the next video. So this is